Yes, we are consumers, right? I'll take off the hat of a banker. I'll wear the hat of a consumer.
Yeah.
100%. I'm less patient.
Welcome to Talk with Sherryn, where we bring together leaders shaping the future of banking, technology, and innovation across the region. I'm your host, Sherryn DeForce, Conference Director for the Middle East Banking Innovation Summit. Today, I am joined by Shorouk Ali. She is the Customer Experience Management of Boubyan Bank. Shorouk, I am so happy to have you on board. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Sharon, for the invitation. It's a pleasure always to be with you.
Amazing. Do you want to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your role and what you do in the bank?
Yeah, sure. My name is Shuru. I work as Customer Experience Manager in Boubyan Bank in Kuwait. I work also as a trainer and speaker and a practitioner when it comes to customer experience, and I'm a regional council member from CXPA.
That's amazing. I love following your things on LinkedIn. I follow you
Thank
every
you.
day, and it's incredible watching what you're doing for CX in industry and for the region. I mean, that must be incredibly rewarding, but incredibly tough.
Yes, but I always love to network with people, like knowing what people are doing in different parts of the world. It's like an eye opener because I'm fascinated with consumer behavior and how consumers are behaving differently across cultures. So this makes me learn more and more and talk about my experiences when it comes to consumer behavior here in GCC and MENA region.
That is amazing. I absolutely love your work. I'm just so thrilled to have you on board. How are things going on your side?
Things are good. Yeah, we're doing very well. And yes, I do agree with you. Like having these kind of conversation, we just need like a refreshment and engagement, especially when it comes to banking.
Yeah.
It's a bit like feel we operate in silos. So the more I connect with other colleague or someone in the industry, we
Mm.
relate to each other. So thank you so much for initiating this. It's highly needed in the industry.
I mean, the other thing about it is that things are moving so quickly. You know, digital transformation is it's so rapid and AI, it's everything is happening so quickly. And I mean, you and I can have this conversation now and in a month have something else to talk about, I think.
100%, 100%. Things are unpredictable, especially when it comes to technology, which definitely affects the consumer behavior and
Yeah.
consumer expectations. So, yeah, most of times we need to learn, most of times we need to check
Yeah.
what's happening in the market when it comes to technology because it affects the industry 100%.
Yeah. So we're gonna chat about more of the customer and the consumer and how AI is impacting you guys at the moment. I mean, we've been spending about 2 years talking about AI and how it's changing businesses. But I wonder if the bigger story is how AI is rather changing the customers themselves. Oh, for you, are we witnessing a monumental shift towards a changing consumer behavior with AI?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
The short answer is yes.
yes.
We are witnessing a major shift, psychological shift when it comes to the consumer psychology, when
Yeah.
it comes to consumer decision-making process. Things
Mm.
are completely changing when it comes to consumer perspective. We are witnessing a shift in how consumers are evaluating brands, how they are evaluating businesses, which
Mm.
definitely affects the organizations and what is required from organizations to adapt. So AI is not only affecting the dynamics of the business or the landscape of the business, it actually affects how the consumers are demanding,
Yeah.
what they are demanding, how they are informed and aware of the products, services, and how their expectations are getting evolving more and more with AI and
Mm.
instant replies that they receive from AI. So the short answer is yes, we are witnessing a shift.
One of the shifts must be obviously how people are researching their products and how they're comparing the options and making their decisions. How is AI influencing this?
I still remember when I had my master's degree in consumer behavior, we had a very traditional process when it comes to consumer decision making
Yeah.
process. And the major role or the major factor that influencing this process was friends, family, word of mouth, reputation, etc. Now we have the AI in this game, which is a game changer because consumers are coming to us very well informed. They have done their homework. And instead of like searching on the website, checking the reviews, asking their friends and families, and I
Mm.
want to highlight, sharing here something that in GCC and Arab countries, we are in a very collectivistic culture. So
Okay.
we are relying on word of mouth and family opinions and other people recommendations.
Okay.
Now AI is a part of the equation. So customer already the search or research process is very easy for him, very convenient for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming to us well informed. The research is done, and almost AI is assessing him to get to his decision. So here, the business needs to be very well prepared and ready to add value to what
Mm.
AI is already preparing the customer. So yes, there is a major change on what was happening 5 years ago and
Yeah.
how consumers are getting to their decisions and evaluating the alternatives.
Yeah. And do you think that process has become a lot quicker now? The customer, are they becoming a little bit less patient, more impatient? They want a solution. They want something now. Are you seeing that change too in the banking sector?
Yes, we are consumers, right?
Mm.
I'll take off the hat of a banker. I'll wear the hat of a consumer.
Yeah.
100%, I'm less patient. 100% that I want everything fast
Yeah.
because let's look at it from a psychographics perspective,
Mm.
how consumers are living their lives, the lifestyles. Everything is more stressful. We are examining instability in major socio-economic factors, the geographical tension and the political tension in the
Yeah.
region. All of these factors affect the customer tolerance
Yeah.
or the customer's ability to wait or the customer ability for having any friction or
Yeah.
having any mistake in his journey. So yes, consumers are becoming less tolerant for mistakes and less patience, and they do not need like any kind of more stress in their life. I still remember that when we define customer experience, like we're having customer experience definition by book, but the
Mm.
simple definition is we wake up every day to make customers' life better.
Yeah.
So this happens when actually understand that the consumer is already stressful and his life is not as easy or peaceful as we think.
Yeah.
So yes, they are becoming less patient and AI has a role in this equation.
It must also have a bit of a role, and I'm sure we spoke about this off camera too. This geopolitical mess that we are finding ourselves in, that must also be impacting the bank. It must be impacting how you are communicating with your customer. Are you using AI to do that? How are you communicating, some kind of stability with your customer, and how are you dealing with that? How is the communication happening?
Yeah, that's a very good angle of the equation because during the time of uncertainty, people
Mm.
need to feel you like you are a part of their journey.
Yeah.
You are transparent enough. You are creating trust with them. The communication is clear, short, and things are very seamless and very easy to them. And we are in this together.
Yeah.
Business and consumer are in the same boat. And yes, there is uncertainty. Yes, we do not know what is coming, but we are in this together.
Yeah.
This kind of message to be like shared across different touch points, it makes a huge difference because
Mm.
the consumer feel like, okay, you're not looking at me as a wallet or as the share of your portfolio. You're
Mm.
looking at me as a stakeholder, as an
Yeah.
asset in your bank
Yeah.
or in your organization. So that was a bit a game changer. It was a tough period, and we're still examining the consequences of this.
Mm. Mm.
However, the more we are humanized and the more we are transparent, we are keeping the communication simple but real, and keeping the customer informed of all the updates, and
Mm.
trying to be more proactive and adding the emotional layer of the communication. This is completely a game changer because you're telling the consumer that, yes, I acknowledge your anxiety. I acknowledge that things are not okay, but we're here. Don't worry. Whatever happens, we're here for you. So, this is in a nutshell how we were navigating the uncertainty, and it creates like a safe space to the consumer to communicate with us.
I think that's a beautiful thing, and I don't think a lot of brands do that, is communicate that empathy, communicate that personalization from that side, saying, you are a stakeholder for us. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think more brands need to maybe take that on board. And from that, let's chat about personalization for a little bit, because for me, personalization has always been a bit of a holy grail when it comes to customer experience and speaking directly to your customers. So obviously you've got the empathy side of things, but making sure that they're not just a number, and as you said, they're your stakeholder. So what is and how has AI changed how customers can expect you to personalize for them? What's changed on that side from you for you?
Actually, there are some terminologies that I feel it was misused for the last couple of years, like personalization, loyalty, hyper personalization. Personalization, if it's not going to remove friction,
Mm.
if it's not going to make the customer journey easier, it's just a hype.
Yeah.
So, using the personalization in a context that we understand your preferences, we understand your needs, and we are trying to make you giving us less information because we are already informed, well informed about you, about your
Yeah.
needs, and about your cases. This makes personalization work because customers like, okay, it's nice to have like someone telling you happy birthday or a brand sending you an SMS asking about where have you been. But when it comes like to real cases, what we
Mm.
need from personalization is making sure and giving us less information, and we are taking faster action. I do not need like to call Shuru and telling Shuru all my problem, and then calling Sharon and telling Sharon again all my problem and
Yeah.
asking for SLA or when will you call me.
Yeah.
Personalization is just to take the customer from point A to point B without any friction. Easy, seamless journey by getting well information or well informed about your customer. So here
Mm.
comes the power of data or the power of hyper personalization. And I do believe like not all organizations are using the data correctly for frictionless experiences. We are using personalization for the sake or the hype of personalization. But is personalization making the process more efficient? Is it making the customer happier? Is it
Yeah.
making the customer journey easier? These are the main questions that we need to ask.
Yeah. This is also, do customers actually want that? Or do you think that businesses, and I think that you've answered this a little bit, but do you think that businesses have kind of overestimated that demand?
Yes and no. Some companies are using this because the pressure of having technology and having AI, and competitors are having
Mm.
AI chatbots. But the question is, are we solving a real
Yeah.
business case? Are we solving a real challenge for the customers? So the mistake happens when companies do not applying technology without acknowledging what exactly the solution will solve. Where is the pain that I need
Mhm.
a solution to come and fix this pain? And I do believe that this is a challenge for both organizations and vendors who are providing AI solutions and technological solutions, because we care so much about the solution and what are the
Yeah.
features and what are the benefits. But who cares about the customer pain? Who's identifying the real need? Who's identifying the real gap? Here is coming the missing link that we need to correlate the main business need or the customer need or the customer issue to the technology solution that we
Yeah.
need to apply. So it's yes or no, it depends to which extent the organization is mature enough to
Yeah.
identify the customer need.
Yeah. And that's where I think the balance really comes in between AI and that customer need. And that customer need to still have some kind of a human touch. And getting that balance must be really, really tricky. How do you overcome that?
Here comes the role of emotional experience, because we always say that it's not only the service, it's not only the product, it's also how you made your customer feel.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I will forget, I will not remember how much did I pay for a specific product, but I will definitely remember how this brand made me
Mm.
feel,
Mm.
especially in tough situations or uncertainty or a large involvement product when I pay big chunk of money.
Yeah.
So it's all about how we are understanding the emotional state of the customer
Hmm.
and how we train AI to understand that. So AI would help me in understanding my customer more and analyzing the data better and having actionable insights. But when it comes to emotional state of the customer, I need human to be well prepared and well informed from AI, having customizable solution to this customer
Yeah.
with empathy, with emotions, with a genuine interaction with the customer.
Yeah.
So definitely AI will never replace humans, but they will empower employees.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I have picked up over and over and over again is the fact that, you can do so much with a chatbot. You can have as many touch points chatting to AI, but most of the time, people really do just need to talk to a human to help solve critical problems. So keeping that must be really, really important. Do you think that would heighten customer loyalty? What is customer loyalty looking like at the moment? It must be changing with things changing so quickly.
Yes, because customers now are perceiving brands differently. They are not evaluating only the product or service or your offering, your economic offering. They are comparing experiences. So I compare the banking experience to Four Seasons Hotel, Five Stars Hotel. So I'm not comparing apple to apple anymore. It
Yeah.
becomes experience to a previous best experience. So loyalty is more about emotions. How did I make the customer feel?
Yeah.
What is the value that I consistently provide to this customer?
Mm.
Because currently it's not only the willingness to return to your brand is not because of I used to use this brand. Competition is tough. Everyone is offering something. I need to identify the real value. And this will not happen by sitting on the desk in AC in front of my laptop, just telling that I'm going to provide this kind of value. I
Yeah.
just need to go to the field, examining the real customer needs, working on the research, taking into consideration the technology or technological context in order to understand the value. The better and clearer value that I provide to the customer, the more loyal the customer will be to my brand, and
Yeah.
the higher willingness or probability to return back to my brand. So it's not only the offering, the emotions, and the clear value proposition.
Do you think the access then to the amount of information that you're providing your customers, do you think that creates more loyalty? And how is AI helping that?
I do believe that customers are tolerant or they have the ability to accept mistakes or any gaps in the service provided as long as they trust you. So the stage one is creating real trust between you
Okay.
and your customer and being transparent and being acknowledging the customer pain, like telling you, Sharon, I acknowledge how you feel. I
Yeah.
understand what you're going through and I'm with you to take you to a better state. So this communication, when it becomes more genuine, it's not like canned responses
Yeah.
or, hi, good morning, how can I help you today? Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you. Are you really happy? Are you really giving me the sense of happiness that I am here with you? The genuine emotional experience with your customers
Mm.
creates trust and create a space where you can interact more transparently with your customers. So we might overuse the word of emotional experience, but believe me, out of my experience, it is the bread and butter of
Yeah.
customer experience because the majority of the customer decisions are made based on how they feel, what is their emotional state. So it is a major factor that influence the whole game of customer experience.
Yeah. And look into the future a little bit. How are you expecting AI to kind of change the way people are making their purchasing decisions and going choosing their banks, choosing their products in their banks? How are you expecting that AI to change that?
AI is changing how they are, or what are the steps that they are going through to make their decisions. AI is helping to
Mm.
educate our customers about the product and service and what are the most suitable product based on their situations. So the more the customer knowing their needs and acknowledging their needs, the more or the faster the AI will guide them to know which brand will I use their products or
Yeah,
services. Here comes the game where organizations must work so hard understanding how AI is helping consumers to make their decisions. At the same time, when it comes to marketing, like traditional marketing or traditional digital marketing, it's not only social media, it's not only reviews, it's not only billboards. Coming now the role of AI as a part of the marketing. So, what kind of information are you sharing on the website? What kind of
mm,
feedback is shared from your consumers on internet? How people are talking about your brands on social media? All these factors helping AI to recommend your brand. And the last but not least, the value, to which extent you are clear in communicating what is your brand value
yeah,
proposition to the customer. The more it's clear, the more it's easier to AI to capture this value and recommend it to your customers that you want to target. So, it's like a closed loop. It starts with the consumer need moving to AI, and you close the loop with the value. The
yeah.
clearer value, the better outcome from AI.
Absolutely. And now organizations must really need to start rethinking the way they are putting together customer experiences going forward. How, what are those strategies going to be looking like? Are you going to be relying a lot more on the results of what AI is giving you with the data, and molding new things? What are those strategies looking like going forward?
I do believe that majority of organizations currently are relying on AI to work on the data side. So we need more technology when it comes to data analytics to
Yeah,
understand the patterns of the consumer behavior or the purchasing behavior. This part would be very efficient in understanding the data.
Mm.
But when it comes to frontline functions, when it comes to customer service or talking to the customer or communicating to the customer, still we are at very early stage when it comes to AI to have the AI as a major role when it
Mm.
comes to frontline or customer service. Maybe AI will filtrate the inquiries. Maybe AI will give a buffer to
Yeah.
organizations to for the queue to tell the agent that you need to do 1 2 3 before the customer is coming to you.
Yeah.
However, we cannot say that AI has a major strategy when it comes to replacing the customer service functions.
Okay.
um, the main strategy is analyzing the data, personalizing the data, and leveraging AI and understand the complete context of the customer cases. This definitely will be very helpful in customizing solutions to customers, which would create trust and create in the future loyalty.
Noisy. Is agentic AI going to be a big part of that too? I know that this is one of the biggest topics at the moment. People are talking about
Yes.
agentic AI. Is that going to be a major focus for customer experience too?
Yes, I think we are at the research stage. All
Okay.
customer experience professionals at this stage are in research stage to understand to which extent agentic AI is able
Yeah.
to provide a real frictionless customer experience, and what are the pros and cons, and to which extent we need still the human side in this equation. Definitely, it depends on the type of the business and type of inquiries. In many cases, I have witnessed amazing agentic AI who's providing complete information and did not let me ask for a human agent.
Wow.
However,
Okay.
other solutions are still need to understand the consumer more, the consumer behavior more. And you know what, Sharon? The most important factor here is the cultural intelligence of the AI, because there's no one size fits all. I
Yeah.
cannot talk about a solution which where is developed in corporate America and come and apply it here in Middle East,
Yes.
where the consumer behavior is different and the delicates is different, language is different, slangs are different. So still, we need to work on these solutions from the angle of culture. What kind
Mm.
of culture I operate in, what is the type of this community, and what are their needs when it comes to communication. I believe here
Absolutely.
comes the need of the research. More research is needed in that area.
I totally agree. And I think that ties back to what you said earlier about the GCC just being very different culturally. You said, it's more about uh, word of mouth, promotion from each other. So that must be incredibly interesting. And I think looking into the future, that needs to be really considered when it comes to AI. What's one prediction you have for customer experience in the next 5 years?
That's a big question. Actually, everything is changing. Like I need to plan for the weekend. I cannot plan because things are getting so rapid changing. I do believe that the more we are experiencing stress and pressure in the
Yeah.
consumer's lifestyle, the more things are getting changing very quickly because
Mm.
of the political situation or geographical situation or economic situation, which affects organizations and consumers as well. The more we need to consider more and more two things: emotional state of the customer, to understand what exactly needs to communicate it to this customer in particularly, and the
Mm.
cultural side, because the trends now are more into going to authentic and genuine experiences.
Yeah.
So cultural and emotional side, I do believe that it will completely change customer experience in the future.
That is so exciting. It's
Yeah.
really so exciting for me to hear that. Shorouk, let's talk about CX trends and do something different. What is one of the most overhyped CX trend at the moment?
That's a very nice question. I
It's
hope
cheeky.
not to be misunderstood here when we talk about overhyped. Actually, it's AI. Deploying AI without having a clear customer problem to solve is just overhyped.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to do AI like everyone else is doing. We're going to invest, we're going to get solutions. And look, we're having AI. Why? The why behind this is very important and very needed when it comes to strategy,
yeah,
how we are deploying AI in terms of strategy and customer experience. So, for the past couple of years, we have been here about AI solutions, lots of AI solutions without clear business need. So, yeah, I do believe deploying AI without clear customer problem to solve.
I love that. I think that's one of my favorite answers so far. I love it. Um, it should be, and I'm sure it is taking a step back and saying, right, what do we need this for first, and putting those strategies together before just jumping headlong into AI implementation.
Um, okay, it's behavioral science.
Okay.
Understanding the customer experience from behavioral science and behavioral economics perspective is very important. Understanding the why behind every customer action and why they are behaving that way is a real competitive advantage. The
Yeah.
more we understand the consumer in terms of behavior, the
Mm,
more we can deploy any kind of solutions for them that makes their life better
yeah.
and the journey easier and the experience more pleasant. So, behavior science.
Behavioral science. So are we telling banks maybe step back a little bit, take a breather, start looking
Yes, do
at
your research.
do your research.
Analyze the data correctly,
Yeah.
ask the why behind everything, and then check what is the solution. It might be something very simple, something very small, doesn't need like huge investment, but no one looked at it. So the more we ask the why, the more we learn without just sitting on the desk and pretending or making assumptions about our customers.
I I absolutely agree with that. And I think a lot more companies, not only just banks, but I think a lot more organizations need to take that on board before
100%.
just
Yes.
going headlong into AI. I think closing question, and I think this is my signature question for the podcast series. What is banking innovation to you?
That's a very big question. Couldn't be
It's
closing
huge.
question. Again, banking innovation is not about the newest technology. It's
Mm,
not about only AI. Banking innovation is having something meaningful to the
yeah.
customer, whether it's a product, a service, a procedure, a decision, or a very simple interaction. The more we're doing this, taking into consideration the customer in the center of everything we're doing, we can use any kind of tools to innovate when it comes to solutions for
Mm,
our customer. So simply, it's customer centricity. Having the customer inside everything we do, every decision we take, every function, seeing the customer even if they are not
yeah.
frontline functions. This
Yeah.
is innovation. And again, it shouldn't be like something big or something needs huge budget to change.
Mm.
It's we need just to understand what our customers need and to tailor things to suit the changing needs of our customers.
I absolutely love that answer. I think that is amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to have you part of our community and have you part of our banking community. And thank you so much for all of the work you do. It's very appreciated. And Shorouk, I'm looking forward to seeing you back at Mebus. It might not be this year, but perhaps next year. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to another conversation with you soon.
Thank you so much, Sharon. The conversation was really insightful. I enjoyed like talking with you about the trends and how things are happening. It was really, really insightful. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I absolutely loved chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, and see you soon.
See you soon.